Hello, Pisces. Welcome and welcome back. We're going to get into another reading using the Outlander Oracle because we need to get to know our new deck. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. I hope you're doing well, and I hope these messages can help you through whatever situation that you may be dealing with at this time, okay? Ooh, it's been a lot going on, child. Okay, if y'all want to book a reading, the link is in the description box below. But please go with what you know, Pisces. If I say anything that contradicts with your intuition, please follow your own intuition. Don't get carried away, okay? Because it ain't the time or the day to get carried away. If you want to book a personal, the link is below. I can't remember if I said that. You guys like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. Hype up the video if you got some hypes. Throw them my way, please. If you don't mind, it would be so wonderful. Anyway, other than that, you guys, let me know in the comments if it's resonating. Let's go ahead and get into it for Pisces. Guardian angels, archangels, spirit guides and ancestors of the highest vibration, Father, Mother, God. Whew. What is the message, Spirit, that you want Pisces to know at this time? Oh, I love the way this deck shuffles. It's just beautiful. Okay, listen. I just thought about it too because I was supposed to tell y'all this and I forgot just that quick. I got this word decompression. Okay. Decompression. So I looked it up and it's about like reducing pressure. If you talk about it in the physical sense. I'm not a doctor, lawyer, or psychologist, so please don't take this as medical, legal, or whatever advice. The disclaimer is below. But decompression, oh my Lord, by definition, it says it is a noun, okay, first of all, and it's a reduction in air pressure. That's the first definition. Oh, excuse me. And they say, as an example, decompression of the aircraft cabin, right? That's why you can't get off the plane immediately when you land because they have to decompress the cabin. That's why your ears pop when the plane takes off. It says a gradual reduction of air pressure on a person who has been experiencing high pressure while diving in order to prevent decompression sickness. So that's like, I think bubbles in the brain or something like that. I could be wrong. But the example there is itching and rashes often occur following decompression. So when people do deep sea diving and they use those air tanks, they have to rise to the surface slowly. You can't just, like if you were to dive into the deep end of a pool and you go down into the deep end and then you come back up, sometimes you get lightheaded. Sometimes your ears pop, just like if you're on a plane. But when you do deep sea diving, you can't just rise up to the top or to the surface of the water right away. You have to slowly rise and gradually rise so that the air pressure can decompress, I guess, in your brain and in your lungs. Now, the second meaning says the process of expanding computer data to its normal size so that it can be read by a computer. And the example says this disk contains a number of utilities which require decompression. It also can be a surgical procedure that relieves excessive pressure on an internal part of the body, such as the cranium, which is your head, or the spinal cord, okay? So, for example, I've heard stories, okay, where if people have excessive pressure on their brain, like for whatever reason, if someone's brain is bleeding, I guess that could be considered like a concussion. But again, disclaimer below. Like if you have a concussion or if you have internal bleeding in your brain or in your head, sometimes they have to reduce the pressure and like create an opening so that the pressure can be released and the swelling can go down. Okay. I don't know why this message came up. When it comes to the computer, you know, sometimes you need more storage space. You need to be able to store more data on your computer, more files on your computer. So it reduces the size of a file when you compress it, so that you can have more space on your computer to save more things, or so that it's easier for you to send a document. And then once you send the document, it's compressed when you send it. But then when the receiver receives the document, they open it up and they decompress it so that they can get all of the files. There's something about that when it comes to your situation. I don't know what it is, because you're the only one who knows your life. Stop letting these people online tell you what your life is. But I feel like this is significant because, on the most philosophical place in your house, the toilet, this morning, I was like, dang, I pre-recorded Pisces readings, but I need to do readings for like the next few days, because Thursday is when I'm filming this, Thursday, October 2nd. It is 10:57 a.m. But the day that I'm filming this is the last day of pre-recorded readings that I had. So I want to, we on a schedule. And I was like, dang, should I do Pisces reading first? And I was like, yeah, because that, Pisces always has that energy. Gets you revved up, gets you warmed up, gets you ready to go. Prepared, right? That's just how I feel. I talk to you guys because I feel like conversation is key. People who want to rush through things I look at them a little sideways. I be giving them folks the side eye, because if you can't have conversation and if you in that much of a rush, are you sure this is what you need to be doing? But anyway, the word decompression came to mind. So I feel like you guys could have been under a lot of pressure lately. Some of you guys may have been consolidating emotions or consolidating thoughts, filing them away and compressing them, flattening them out. Basically like not going in as much depth when it comes to your experiences, your thoughts, your feelings, to where now you need to decompress because there's been a lot of pressure on you, or there could have been a lot of pressure that you feel like you've been under to, accomplish things or get things done. And now maybe there's some type of relief of pressure. So it doesn't matter. It could have been financial pressure, possibly, but there's some type of relief that's coming in of the pressure that you've been under in order for you to be able to have space and opportunity to decompress. All right. But we're going to go ahead and get into it. Guardian angels, archangels, spirit guides, and ancestors of the highest vibration. Father, Mother, God, for Pisces. What is it that you want Pisces to know? What is the message for Pisces, Spirit? Most importantly, that you want Pisces to know. Ooh, child. Not all these cards coming out. So we have impulsiveness, mentor, and decision. All right. So there's somebody who's wild, or a situation is very wild and untamed. With this impulsiveness, it's a very like Knight of Wands-esque energy of impulsivity, of spontaneity, an untamed, raw experience. I remember one time, and this is coming to mind for whatever reason, but there was this place in Chicago that was like a farm. And I don't know exactly where it was, but we went there a lot as kids. And it's like you could go around and see farm animals. They had like goats and chickens and stuff like that. And I remember once when we went there, and I believe it was either a field trip at school or somewhere where the YMCA took me, because I went to the YMCA. And it might have been during summer camp, because I have a feeling it was hot. I don't think it was cold. But we went there, and you do a bunch of activities, and then at the end you get to just walk around in the farm and like feed the goats, feed the ducks, feed the chickens. You get to try like you get to try goat's milk, like fresh from the goat. You get to get the eggs from the chicken coop, stuff like that. And when I tell you I tried that goat milk and that shit was so nasty, I almost threw up because it was warm and it was just nasty. It just tasted disgusting. I remember I tried that goat's milk and I don't remember how old I was. I don't remember where this place was. I don't remember what it was called. But I remember trying that goat's milk and it is clear as day. We were right in front of a barn. And there was just this open field with all these little fences and stuff where the different animals were. And some of the goats were just walking around like freely. But they brought out a tray of goat's milk in these little paper cups, like those little cups that you use with mouthwash, but it's not actually the cup, not the good kind, the little cheap kind that just look like paper folded over. And it's little small cups. And they told us, here, you want to try some? You want to try some? And, you know, I'm the little chubby kid coming from the grocery store with your mama on Saturday where they got all these little samples around, right? Because the grocery store hardly does that anymore. But back when I was growing up, every time we went to the grocery store, it didn't even have to be Saturday. It could be a regular weekday. They would just have people letting you try cheese or letting you try little lunch meats and things like that. And me being a little chubby big back child that I was, of course, you giving me some free food? Come on, let me try it. And I drank that goat's milk and it was nasty. It was nasty. And I didn't want to be rude because, you know, I was raised by older people. And I basically was taught that if somebody offers you something and you take it, first of all, if somebody offers you something like some type of hospitality, you should take it and be polite even if you don't want it. But then, you know, my grandmother told me that if somebody brings you food or, you know, they're kind to you and you say, well, I got a special place for this. I'm going to put this here. It's a gift or something and you don't want it. I know exactly where I'm going to put this. I've been needing something like this. I know exactly what I'm going to do with it. And then when they're gone, you throw it in the trash. But then basically it's like if you're offered something, you take it. Okay. That's programming that I have been working very hard to unravel. But regardless, I took the milk and I drank it and I felt bad because I didn't want to spit it out. So I swallowed it. And on the bus ride home, I felt like I had to throw up for the rest of the day. It was ridiculous. And it's like unpasteurized milk. Something about this untamed energy, this impulsive energy, it's like raw. It's unpasteurized. It's not refined. You know, it's drinking the alcohol before it's properly distilled or before it's properly aged. Right? Whatever it is, it could be very good. It could be very lucrative. It could be very powerful. It could be amazing once it's kind of like molded and refined. You know, like an uncut diamond type of energy. That's what I'm getting from this impulsive card. So because of that, I think that's why the mentor card is here. So that whatever this wild, untamed energy is can go through the process of being aged and refined and molded so that the proper decisions can be made. Now we're going to see what this says. Okay, I'm not going to look at the bottom right now. We're just going to look at these cards first. Now, impulsive. Okay, so since we're talking about Outlander, y'all know I'm an expert, kind of. We say young Fergus Fraser rides an unbroken horse. And Fergus was the kid who Jamie adopted in season 2 on Outlander in France because he was like a thief. He was in the brothel and he was stealing from the patrons. And the lady of the house who owned the brothel, she would have kicked him out if she found out that he was stealing. But Jamie caught him stealing because Fergus basically like stole his childhood toy that his brother who passed away gave him. So Jamie chased him down in the street and found out that he was a little thief. But instead of punishing him, turning him into the authorities or turning him into the madam of the brothel, Jamie said, I'm going to give you a job and you're going to work for me. And he ended up basically being like his teacher, his mentor, his employer technically, but they grew to be more like family. Fergus became Jamie's son. Fergus was adopted into Jamie's family, and he took care of him and nurtured him and was like a father to him. So this is supposed to be him on this unbroken horse, which is also wild as well. But because Fergus also was hard-headed, and he he was very courageous and he was very brave, but he also overdid it. Sometimes he did too much. Sometimes he didn't know when to stop. And one time he got caught with the redcoats, and he's the one who got his hand chopped off because they were in the forest. But this was after the rising, when some of the Scottish people had switched sides. And one of the Scottish people who became a redcoat was really like petty, and he wanted to chase Fergus down because they were looking for Jamie, and Jamie was on the run after the rising because he was an outlaw basically. And because Fergus wouldn't leave it alone and he was taunting them, he turned his back for a minute and wasn't looking where he was going and tripped and fell, and the redcoats caught him, and then they chopped his hand off. So that's like the downside to that energy. But it says spirited, immature, and lacking wisdom. And it says feisty and quick to quarrel, young Fergus has the potential to be a hero, but has yet to learn the restraints of maturity. See what I'm saying? Now, if we go to the mentor card, attributes. Okay. So the mentor card is Reverend Wakefield. Okay. Reverend Wakefield was in a few of the seasons in the beginning with Claire and what's his name? Frank. Before she went through the stones, he was the one who was helping Frank locate information on his family history in the past. So it says experience, guidance, and champion. Reverend Wakefield was also the adopted father of Roger Mackenzie, who ended up marrying Brianna, who was Jamie and Claire's daughter. And Roger saw Claire and Frank in the very beginning because he was a child. But later on, he would end up reconnecting with them because, you know, Claire and Brianna, when she was grown, they came back to Scotland because Reverend Wakefield passed away. But anyway, again, it's experience, guidance, and champion. So a trustworthy mentor is essential on one's journey. Generally not a parent, but someone who offers love and endless support, like Roger's adopted father, the Reverend, okay? And he was a Reverend. He was technically a father in the church, but he also adopted Roger because Roger's parents ended up, at least as far as Roger knew, we found out in later seasons what happened, but Roger's parents ended up passing away in a different war, and he didn't know that he had the ability to travel and do time travel as well. And he kind of like had one of those moments that he repressed in his mind. He didn't know what actually happened to him. He didn't know what happened to his mom and his dad, but they were kind of like, I think they were underground, and some bombing happened and his mother and father ended up passing away or something like that. But he ended up finding out that his father could time travel too. It was a whole long story. So he was orphaned as a child, but Reverend Wakefield took care of him just like Jamie took care of Fergus. Okay, now we have the decision card, which looks like it's Claire, but we're going to see what it is. Let's see. Now, decision, yes, it says Claire at Craig Nadoon. It talks about intuition, empowerment, and action. It says there are two options, to stay or to go. Claire weighs the pros and cons of her choices. So some of you may have a mentor that's showing up, a teacher, an advocate, someone who is like a parental figure or who takes the place of a parental figure, but they're not your parent, but they care enough about you to look out for your well-being and to try to hone your abilities and your gifts so that you can focus them and learn how to use them. So isn't that like Professor X or something in X-Men? Xavier, you know, This could be you as a mentor. Some of you guys could have programs that you're a part of, like Big Brother, Big Sister, community activism where you mentor younger kids. I just talked about the YMCA. I just need to let you guys know, those of you who are watching, that when I ramble on about things, it seems like there's no meaning to it, but there's always a meaning and a purpose to it. And Spirit is only going to show those of you who are actually tapped in and those of you who are actually open what's really going on. Okay? So it would behoove you to listen to what I'm saying, because there are messages submerged in what I'm saying. And there's always a point to the story. I just told y'all 5 minutes ago about the YMCA. And now here we go talking about mentors. So either you're meant to be a mentor to someone who needs to hone their gifts because you have acquired the knowledge and experience to know what they may need to help them become more, not necessarily tamed, but to help them become more mature. Or this is someone who's stepping into your life to play that role for you. This could also be something that you experienced as a child. You may not have been someone with parents. Fergus did not have parents. He was an orphan. That's why he was in the brothel stealing. Jamie became his father. Jamie became his parent. Roger was orphaned. He did not have parents. That's why Reverend Wakefield became his parent. Some of you may have been orphaned. Some of you may have had parents who passed away, parents who were in prison, parents who abandoned you or gave you up for adoption. And God forbid, if anything were to happen to you, if you are a parent, you would hope and hopefully want for someone, if you have children, to take that role and be a positive mentor and role model. Some of you, that's what you're meant to be doing. Some of you, that's who you're meant to be helping. Some of you are going to be the mentors to the mentors to the mentors. And I feel like this is helping you to understand how to make decisions. This could also be a more spirit form mentor, which means they're not physically present, but they're speaking to you through your intuition, through the trees, through the wind, through the animals, all that type of stuff. That's what this is about. There could be something within you that you are needing to perfect or sharpen. And you may want to look for a mentor to teach you the skills of a trade or, the skills of a craft, the tricks of the trade. At the bottom, we have journey. Okay. Wow. And not sadist. At the back, we have sadist. That's definitely Blackjack Randall. Anyway, ciao. Oh, man. But Claire also told Jamie he was a sadist, but they were doing the nasty, so it was more playful. It wasn't really playful. He was giving her a whooping because she didn't listen to him, and they just got married. But anyway, Journey says Lord John on a trip or on a ship. I guess he going on a trip. It says adventure, change, and lessons. The water element signifies a need to walk away from ordinary life and search for something more, as is the case when the porpoise carries Lord John to the Caribbean. Okay, so there's a journey that you're on where I feel like you're being prepared to prepare others. It's such a weird thing. It's like you're a student becoming a teacher so that you can teach the next students. You're a mentee becoming a mentor so you can mentor the next mentees. All of that type of stuff. It's like a flow. It's like the journey that you're on right now may be wild and crazy, but it's so it can teach you how to make good decisions and you can help people in the future, because there may come a time in the future where all the wise people are few and far between. And that's what I honestly feel. I honestly feel like there are some of you out there who are being prepared to live very long lives and to be very old and gray, because you guys are meant to bring the new generation. And I'm not talking about babies right now. It's deeper than that. It's like when reality shifts, when they do those great resets. It's like some of you guys are meant to be the people who teach after the Great Reset, so that people don't lose sight of who they are, where they came from, and their humanity overall. Okay? And when the porpoise landed in the Caribbean, Lord John found out that Jamie was there, and Jamie was actually searching for the governor, I guess, because I think they appointed Lord John as the governor. And remember, Lord John and Jamie have a long history from Culloden, the battle, and, the uprising when Lord John was a teenager and Jamie was honorable enough to let him go free. He tied him to that tree. And then again, when Jamie got caught after the rising was over with and Jamie was in prison, Lord John became the warden of the prison. And then because of the debt that Lord John owed Jamie, he allowed him to be an indentured servant at a house where Lord John knew the family and didn't tell the family who Jamie really was, but allowed for the father of the family to know who he actually was. But the other people didn't know, but it was kind of to give Jamie a chance to get his life together, earn money, make a wage, and change his life. And then again, they see each other in the Caribbean when young Ian got snatched up by the pirate ship, and Jamie didn't know if he would be able to convince the governor to help them search for young Ian. And when he got there, he realized it was Lord John. So there's a lot of synchronicities that I feel like are happening when it comes to the journey that you're on now. Some of you guys could be encountering a person who you're going to swap sides with. Like, you guys may flip-flop because there were a lot of times where Jamie saved Lord John, and there were a lot of times where Lord John saved Jamie, and they kind of flip-flopped. So this could be a significant occurrence as well, to where some of you guys are going to be the mentor at certain situations, and then at other times you're going to be the mentee, the teacher and the student trading places. And it's a constant flow, like the infinity symbol for some of you guys. And it's all based on the decisions that you make and the decisions that this person makes. And it's like both of you are kind of intertwined. So some people may call this soulmate. Some people may call this twin flame, divine counterparts. I don't really give a fuck about all that, to be honest with you. What matters is that I think you and someone else's timeline, your journey, your path, your experiences, the way your life has flowed, the experiences that you've had, they're going to be very similar. You could be meeting someone who's really meant to be an important part of your life. This could be someone who's meant to be an important person in your life, either because you're meant to teach them something, or they're meant to teach you something, or y'all are meant to, walk with each other. But that's what this kind of feels like. Let me see this sadist card, though. Okay, y'all please be sure to like the video, my loves. It is helpful to engage. We're giving and receiving, and I appreciate you, okay? Now, this is Blackjack Randall with his crazy ass. It says, dagger, dishonesty, aggression. A sadist tortures and harms others for his own enjoyment. Blackjack Randall represents the worst of humanity, abusing his power to inflict cruelty. So, okay, this is the journey that you're on. Some of you guys had really piss poor mentors. Some of you had a mixture. Some of you had really good mentors. Some of you had really bad mentors. Some of you had very loving, caring, and compassionate mentors. Some of you guys had sadists as parents, as caregivers, as family members. And I feel like it goes both ways. This is what Spirit is telling you right now. You have a decision to make about the type of mentor that you're going to be. And there may be times now or in the future where you're going to have to be more kind, caring, and compassionate. And then there are times where you may have to be a little bit more harsh. Y'all know me. I go on both sides of the scale. Some days I might cuss y'all out. And some days I might be very calm and loving and very soft with you. But it just depends for me on the message that Spirit is trying to convey. And if I get a sense that y'all have been being hard-headed, okay, because I be hard-headed too. And sometimes I get my ass handed to me. And then sometimes Spirit is very gentle with me. But it's just sometimes the way you have to be as, as a guardian, as a parent. You can't always just be nice. You can't always just deliver it softly with a spoonful of sugar. Sometimes the medicine is nasty and you just got to take it. But then you start feeling better and then you like, okay, it was worth it. Right? But I feel like this is a combination of things. You guys are being asked what type of mentor you want to be. You're being asked what type of journey do you want to be on. You're being asked if you are ready to walk this path with someone who may be able to relate really well to you. You're being asked if you're going to allow the influence of negativity to control you. All of these things are happening. You have to make a decision, though, overall about what type of influencer you want to be. And it doesn't mean that you're on social media or you're doing anything online. What type of influencer, mentor, teacher, guide do you really want to be? Because you've seen both sides. You've seen the loving Reverend Wakefield type mentors who are compassionate and, very much so someone who you enjoy learning from. And you have experienced the sadists who are like Blackjack Randall, who don't care if you survive or not. This is the journey that you've been on, but it's also the journey that you can decide what happens now. Yeah. Spirit is bringing you into contact with someone who needs to know what you know, who you are going to be responsible for teaching. This could be your child, but for some of you, it may not be your child. It may be, you may adopt a child. There may be a situation where you adopt a child, where you take care of animals. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like there's something about you where you're able to show tarnished or damaged souls a different side of life. And I have one more example for you because I have one, y'all know I have cats. We got Snowflake and Percy first. Then Cosmo just showed up at our door. He didn't really show up at our door, but Cosmo just showed up. And it was so weird because I was hanging out with these girls and we would always go to this bar on Tuesday for karaoke because they had $2 Tuesdays. And it was a really horrible, I'm not saying it's a horrible time in my life, but it's a time that I look back on and sometimes you look back on times in your life and you'll be like, I know exactly the moment when I fucked up. And that was a time where I know I fucked up. But it was too much going on. And it is what it is because I had to learn. And it's okay. So I'm not bitter about it. But it's just hilarious. Anyway, one of the only good things besides the lesson that I learned the hard way that came out of that situation was Cosmo. Cosmo is my black cat. He's like my little tuxedo cat. He is my security guard. He sits under my legs when I'm on the toilet. When I'm in the shower, he sits in the doorway of the bathroom and guards the door. He guards the door when I'm in the bathroom. He comes in every 5 seconds and checks on me and meow, meow, making sure I'm okay. Did you fall in the toilet, mommy? No. Did you fall in the tub? No. Are you okay? Yes. Is the water too hot? No. He just makes sure I'm good. And then to the point where I have to tell him calm down because sometimes I don't know if he's slow. But he's hit his head several times. This cat is crazy, okay? Some cats are just crazy. They just be doing the most. And he is very much so antsy. He's very anxious. He's very scary. When we first got him, Basically what happened was I was hanging out with these girls, getting drunk too much in the middle of the goddamn week, and it took me off track. And one of the bartenders that I ended up being cool with and making friends with there, she was cool. She was a cool person. And, you know, part of the reason why I stopped hanging out with these girls was because they were treating her rude. And I was like, I don't want to hang out with y'all. Anyway, but the whole point was me and her used to talk and like catch up every time I would go, and like I would ask her how things were going. She was in school, you know, she was trying to get her degree, and I just really like, I was just like, girl, you can do this. And I would tell her about my business, and she would be like, she would, you know, be supportive of like what I would do, and she was really kind, and she told me she was watching my videos. That was back when I was on the Nutcase Network a lot of the time, and doing collective readings and all the different signs and stuff. And we would talk about different synchronicities that we would have. Like, she was just cool. So, we had conversations, and she knew I had 2 cats, and she told me about her cat, which was Cosmo, right? She named him Kitty, but I gave him the name Cosmo Kitty because that's his family name, is Kitty. That came from his first mama. So she used to tell me about him, but then it got to a point where she would be stressed out because there was a day she told me about this opportunity that she had to get a job in her field, but she had to relocate and move. And the new place that she was moving to, she couldn't have a pet because I think she was roommating with somebody. And she was just so distraught. Like, this girl was almost in tears because he's a black cat. And the reason why she got him as a black cat was to basically prevent him from being euthanized, because they don't really like, black cats in the pound or in the shelter don't really get adopted because they have a negative connotation connected to them, and that goes deep. Just like, you know, black people have stereotypes, animals have stereotypes too. So she was scared because her mom said that she didn't want to take him because of his personality. And I was like, well, what's his personality? Because now I'm starting to get curious. She was like, well, my mom has come over and she likes him, but then he be switching up on her and forgetting who she is and like hissing at her and like getting upset with her. And the girl was like, well, I don't think he really like is mad at my mom. It's just he knows that I'm his mom and like I'm his owner, and I think he's just trying to protect me. But he gets confused, like, because he doesn't know, he's not really sociable with people. He's not a cat that is very sociable. He's very cautious and scary. And she says she thinks that somebody was mean to him when he was a kitten, but she doesn't know because the pound doesn't know. They just found him and he was in a bad condition. So I was like, okay. She was like, can you just think about it? Like, if you guys can take him, because I know you have space. And, you know, she was like not trying to impose on me, but she really didn't want this cat to be outside. Cause she was like, I don't want to take him back to the pound because I know for sure he'll get euthanized. And then I don't want to leave him outside because then he's going to be crying and he's going to be looking for me and thinking I'm there. I don't want to just leave him in the neighborhood because then the people might come and get him. She didn't know what to do. And I was just like, okay, girl, let me try to see. I'm going to think about it. And I thought about it. And in my soul, in my spirit, it's like God was just telling me, just take the cat. Just take the cat. So I told her I had her number. So I told her I was going to take the cat. So we organized a time where I was going to go pick him up. Child, when I tell you, he fought so bad to stay up under that girl's bed. Like, we had to take her bed apart. Like, I went to her house and we had to take her bed apart and literally like pull the wood out from under the bed to get him out of the bed. And I had my legs in between the pillars of the bed. I hurt myself trying to get him out of there with her. Like, we was both struggling. He ended up running in the closet. So I'm sitting here by the closet, like, I'm trying to talk to him because he's coming with me. You get what I'm saying? Like, I got to get to know him. So I was just sitting there talking to him. Eventually we get him into the carrying case. She had already packed up all his stuff. She gave me his litter box, his toys. She had so much stuff for this cat. And he was living a good little only child life. But now he was going to get introduced to 2 other cats. And when I tell you, when we brought him home, he was in my closet. He did not eat. He did not sleep from what I saw. I don't know. It just felt like he didn't eat. He didn't shit. He didn't drink no water. He was in that closet on top of my suitcases. And he still sits on top of those suitcases to this day. But he was in my closet for like 4 days. Did not come out. I said, okay, he doing his thing. But I would go in there periodically and just talk to him and let him get used to my voice and like, put my hands close to him, but I wouldn't touch him. Like I was trying to get him comfortable with being with us. Somebody yelling. So long story short, he ended up getting more comfortable and I did force him a little bit. There were times where I was like, hey, I'm going to put my hand close to your face so you could sniff me. And then he would hiss at me, but then he would rub his face on my hand. Then he would hiss at me again. And then he didn't know what he wanted to do. He felt the comfortable energy coming from me. He felt the nurturing energy coming from me, but he was also very scared. That took a long time for him to not be scared. It took a long time for him to at least recognize the kids as not being a threat. It took a long time for him to recognize the other cats not being a threat. He is still cautious. It's never going to go away. But there was a certain aspect of the way that I knew he needed to be loved that would change the fact that he was afraid at every moment. And he's not super afraid now. Like he's still cautious, but he'll let the kids pet him. He'll let the kids scratch on his belly. Like he is a really sweet cat, but then he still has his boundaries, right? And even now, like we have to give him treats and distract him so I can clip his toenails. I feel like somebody just did not treat him right. And the love, I really like when I was clipping his toenails the other day, my oldest son was giving him one of those little squeeze treat things. And I was just talking to him and I was like, yes, kitty baby. Yes. You just been scarred and you got all this trauma, but it's okay. 'Cause now people love you and you don't have to worry about it. And da. Even Pumpkin, yes, you see me talking about you in the window. Even Pumpkin is not as jumpy as Cosmo. And she came from outside. So that just goes to tell me that not only was it that he was an outside cat, but it was a situation where when he did trust somebody, they probably fucked with him in a nasty way. And, I kind of feel, I know that was a long story and I just feel like I had to say that because that could be you or that could be someone who's about to come into your life. And you're going to have to decide the way that you want to maneuver through this situation. And you may be the turning point or the only reason that someone is able to move forward from some type of traumatic experience and a traumatic lifestyle. You may be the difference between someone turning into a sadist and someone being a good mentor. And there may have been people in your life who helped you down that path as well. But I feel like you're being led. Your journey is leading you to these people so that you can help those decisions change from something that may be counterproductive to something that actually, propels and progresses the collective forward. Okay. It's important. What else does Pisces need to know? What else does Pisces need? Yeah, privileged lady. Interesting. Card number 12, which is a 3. You have message, which is a 7, and 36. Distant horizons, which is also a 9. So 7, 3, and 9. 12 and 36. So this could be ages. 7, 3, 9, and 12 could be the ages of a child who you may adopt in the future, or the ages where you were probably in situations that may have been turning points in your life. I feel like if some of you are not 36 years old yet, or you have not passed the age of 36, there is some type of dream that I feel you will be able to achieve. at least by the time you get to this age, if you are past the age of 36, I feel like you release some of the burdens of those experiences that could have affected you negatively. That's where a lot of the chains were broken. 36 was a significant age for you, or it will be a significant age if you haven't gotten there yet. There's definitely a message here that someone has not opened or read. You may want to check your mail, your email. You may want to check your voicemails, your messages, your texts, to see if there's any important information in those places for you, because there is a letter or a document that has not been read. You may have even opened it, but you didn't read it. There's an important message in any of these places that Spirit wants you to pay attention to and read. Okay, I also feel like Spirit is sending you a spiritual message about always being taken care of with this privileged lady card. And that you don't have to be tied down or anchored to any type of like constricting environments or constricting points of view. You know, you're not trapped or stuck in a situation. You can be set free, or you can set yourself free. What else for Pisces? Oh, Lord. Okay, wealthy man and thoughts. 13 and 16. It could also be 4 and 7, another 7. Teenagers. Some of y'all have teenagers, and it may be rather difficult. There could be a masculine energy here that's thinking about a feminine energy. This person may be wealthy, or they just may have a lot of connections. We have main male, yeah. And then we have courtship. Yeah, that's a 4 as well. And then 1. Interesting. So there's a masculine energy who's thinking about connecting with a feminine. They may not know. Community just popped out. You may meet someone in a community that you go to or frequent, whether you're the masculine or the feminine. I don't know. Right? There could be an age difference or an age gap, but there are there's experiences that each of you had during your formative years that I feel like are very similar to each other. Whoever this masculine energy is, it feels like something's missing with this thoughts card when it comes to the way that they are able to like think of their life. It's something about the way that they think of their life, the way that they look at their life. They may have money. They may have, success. They may have a career. They may have wealth. They may have family, but they don't have like a significant other. And I feel like this person wants a significant other. This could also be someone who owns a business or is a prominent figure in a particular line of business, and whatever work that they do, they are doing well, but it kind of feels like they need something or someone else to come in and do something that nobody really knows how to do. So it kind of feels like a missing piece of the puzzle type of situation. Somebody may want to take you out on a date, but the wealthy man and the privileged lady are counterparts. Just like the main male and the main female are counterparts, and the mature woman and the mature man are counterparts in this particular deck. The poverty card and the toil and labor card are counterparts. So I don't know what this is necessarily when it comes to your situation, because it feels like professional or romantic. I don't know. It could be platonic for some of you guys, but it feels like mostly it's professional or romantic, where someone is looking for their missing puzzle piece. Someone is looking for their other half. And it's interesting because on the decisions card that talks about Claire, we read how it talks about Claire and the decisions that she has to make when it comes to what she needs to do. There are 2 options: to stay or to go. You have to weigh the pros and the cons. This person may have to weigh the pros and the cons, but it's like maybe this is deciding whether or not you're going to accept a position that someone is offering to you, or deciding whether or not you're going to offer a position to someone. This could be someone deciding whether or not they want to be in a romantic relationship platonic, romantic, what the heck am I saying? Platonic relationship or romantic relationship. Are you going to stay or are you going to go? This may be a lesson in impulsiveness and spontaneity, being spontaneous. Okay. This is also dreamy energy because of that distant horizons card. And we saw with the distant horizons that ship. And the journey card has a ship on it as well. But what it feels like is that this man feels like something is missing. There could be a job posting that you answer to and you meet this person. I'm trying to figure out what to say this card is here for, though. What is this situation? Spirit, what is the message you're trying to convey? Let's get some more information for Pisces, Spirit. Give us some more so we can understand. The Magician. Fairy Godmother. Cinderella. Cinderella. Night and day is Cinderella. Fix the fires, do the mopping. They always keep her hopping. Magician. That could be Gemini, Aries, maybe Aquarius. We have Judgment here. Scorpio. And then, the Hermit, Virgo. So Scorpio, Virgo, Gemini, possibly Aries and Aquarius. So there's a decision here that needs to be made. You're going to have to make a decision about like accepting a job offer, accepting an offer for a date, offering a job, offering a date, asking someone out, getting to know someone, going on an interview, something like that. I feel like somebody is reaching out about this. Okay. But this is a decision that needs to be made, or a decision that Spirit is trying to lead you towards making. And they really want you to make the right decision. They want you to be able to see things clearly so that you can make the right decision when it comes to the energy that you invest in something or invest in someone. Someone could also be sending you signs. I feel like you're going to realize that there's a magician sending you some type of signs or synchronicities about something. Something is very sacred as well. I don't know what that is. What's the Magician? 3 of Swords, Star, 9 of Coins. It's like, I kind of feel like you have a guardian angel or a ghost, a spirit, helping guide you towards someone and make the right decision so that you can connect with this person outside in the community somewhere. Some type of pain is being healed. You're healing your pain, or some type of pain is being healed right now to help you become better at making decisions. And I feel like you're going to see where this is leading you. It's leading you somewhere. Ooh, that breeze feel good, child. What's the Magician? One more card. Oh my Lord. 9 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like you're afraid to take help from someone, or you're afraid to have a mentor. You're afraid to have a teacher, the Hermit. When the student is ready, the teacher arrives. But it's like the teacher is standing at this stone circle, and they're saying you got to come through the stones, and you're like, well, shit, they could be crazy. You get what I'm saying? I think this sadist is like I don't want to say it's a figment of your imagination, but it's a ghost remnant from the past when it comes to people who you've trusted to teach you things, or people who have maybe been negative towards you, people who took advantage of your vulnerability. We saw the star. Okay. Or people who like led you astray. I feel like you're worried about being hurt again, or possibly someone opening up an old wound. And I feel like that's why a lot of you guys don't want to allow someone into your space, or you don't trust someone in your space. 3 of Cups, Knight of Coins. Yeah, it's like you're worried that the same thing is going to happen again. I don't know what this is, but it's a community. Community, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 3. That's 3. 3 of Swords, 3 of Cups. It's like you're worried about someone sabotaging your progress, or like ruining something that you worked hard for. It's like you don't want to partner with people. You're concerned or leery, very cautious of entering into these groups and these communities, because you're afraid that you're going to give of yourself and then you'll end up with this 3 of Swords, and there'll be like some type of conflict, possibly to your independence, or whatever you have acquired, whatever you have worked hard for. You're definitely following some type of signs, or spirit wants you to follow the signs that they're giving you. I don't know if someone prophesied, or I don't know if you watched the tarot reading, or I don't know what this is, but there's some prophecy or prediction that someone made about you possibly regretting giving someone something, or giving someone your energy, giving someone your money, giving someone your time. That like somebody said, oh, you're going to regret investing in this person, or you're going to regret dating this person, or you're going to regret being friends with this person, or whatever the fuck this is. But that fear that they planted within you is what I feel made the prophecy come true. Like, had you not known that negative things exist in the world, you wouldn't think about negative things happening. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you being afraid of something happening a certain way because someone told you that's how it was going to happen is what's actually manifesting that into reality. So I don't know what that is. It's Libra energy, possibly Gemini energy. We saw the Hermit, that's Virgo. We saw the Star, that's Aquarius. We saw Judgment, that's Scorpio. The Magician could be Aquarius, Gemini, or Aries, maybe Scorpio as well. Possibly Taurus is out here. But it's like, I don't know. I kind of don't feel like you should trust whatever people say, because it feels like there's this prophecy or this prediction, this premonition that someone is giving you about a negative scenario taking place, or a negative situation happening if you give to someone, or if you invest in a situation. That, oh, the same thing is going to happen again that happened before. Don't be friends with these people. Don't join this community. Don't go to this place. Don't talk to these people, because if you do, then the same thing that happened before is going to happen again, and you're going to have to heal from some type of pain, or you're going to be, broke, and you're going to have to replenish your money, recuperate your money. And I feel like you're realizing that someone's trying to manipulate you into being afraid of like ghosts or being afraid of things from your past happening again. And that's not actually true. I feel like Spirit is warning you guys against like certain predictions that people make, or they're warning you guys against allowing people to like speak over you or something like that. I don't know. This could be about tarot. I don't know. This could be in your psyche. This could be in your mind. This could be your trauma talking. Like you're afraid to open up to people or make friends or to date because you're worried that the same thing that caused you pain before, the same thing that someone did to you before is what they're going to do again. Oh. Y'all like the video, please like and subscribe. I know I've been talking for a long time. What's this decision up here? Oh my lord. Six of Swords reversed. This is a tumultuous situation. That was the Two of Swords that, I don't know, some of you keen-eyed viewers may have seen that under the Three of Cups that we just saw was the Two of Swords. You guys are going to have to make a decision on how you want to move forward. There is a situation that could easily turn into a tower. You guys are going to have to make a decision about how you want to move forward before the tower falls. Okay? The fire is starting to burn. You get what I'm saying? Just, if I don't want you to imagine this necessarily to bring it into your life. God forbid. Lord. Okay? Father, Mother, God, I am using this as a metaphor, God. I do not want anybody to experience a house fire. Please protect those who are watching with good intentions. It's like if you're in a house fire and your house is burning down and the doorway to go out, you either have to jump through the fire, which actually happened in Outlander, which is crazy. When Alexander Malcolm, which is Jamie Fraser in an Alias, his printing shop burnt down. So either you're going to have to jump through the fire and get to the door, or you're going to have to jump out the window. Okay? Neither one is appealing. But you got to make some decision. It's like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. What you going to do? And you weigh the pros and the cons of each situation. And, you know, there could be a little stress. There could be a little anxiety. You could be afraid to open up. You could be afraid to ask for help. You could be nervous that some type of reprieve or, you know, reinforcements aren't going to come in. But I feel like whatever this sticky situation is that you could be in, is actually activating something within you that's like, okay, I got to do it now, right? Bless me. Thank you. And I think before you may have been procrastinating, or you may have been putting something off, or you may have even been decompressing what you've been feeling and dealing with, because the way that you compressed your emotions and your thoughts and your feelings and, you know, your actions has been like survival mode. Like, I feel like you've been in some type of survival mode, and now you have the opportunity, or Spirit is trying to tell you, you need to take time to decompress so that you can get a full picture of all of those things, how they correlate with each other, and what that means when it comes to the decision that you're going to have to make. You're in a tough spot. Okay, we're not going to sit here and act like it, because, I mean, this could be somebody else, because your energy really ain't out here, Pisces. But it's like you or someone else is in a tough spot. Somebody is in a sticky situation and they feel like they don't have anywhere to go, or they're not moving forward. But it's like the Six of Swords came out reversed on the floor. So it's kind of like, okay, this energy may be subsiding. It could be going away, and things could start to become more clear as far as what the right decision is to make. Okay. Six of Cups, another six, and a Page of Coins. Yeah. So this is kindness and compassion. This is nurturing, loving, protective energy. This is innocence with the Six of Cups and the Page of Coins. But it's also like a loss of innocence, feeling a lack of safety and security and stability, things being very tumultuous and kind of like remembering a time when things were easier. But now it's like you can't go back and change the past. The past is the past, and it's wonderful to think about it, but there's nothing you can do to turn back time because that would be counterproductive. Okay? I feel like there's this possible daydream that you've been in, or it's like something is making you think that things are better than what they are. And I don't know what that is. But I feel like you're seeing the signs that the fire is burning. You smelling the smoke. You smell something burning. What's the Six of Swords reversed? Ten of Swords. Wow. Yeah, I feel like Spirit is trying to help you to walk through the portal of change. Like they're trying to help you walk through this portal where you realize that your past is not your present and your present is not your future. Whoever betrayed you, we just had that reading. What was it, last week? It was very volatile, okay? It was very dark. It was very nasty. And it's like all of those things that happened to you, all of those things that people did to you, all of the ways that people may have, stolen your innocence and you weren't able to be rescued. There was no one there to rescue you or save you. You had to be there by yourself. You didn't have a fairy godmother. You didn't have a saving grace. You didn't have a guardian angel. You got beat up. You got betrayed. You got, raped or whatever it is. Nobody saved you from it. It wasn't like in the movies. It was you having to face your trauma in your face. That is what has happened. Or somebody sabotaged your career, whatever this was. All of a sudden, it all got cut off. All of a sudden, the lights were off. All of a sudden, everything stopped. And you were stuck in this position where you were kind of drowning and you didn't know how to move forward. And you were very angry and very bitter. Or this is how someone else is feeling. But now it's like that's in the past. It's time to move forward. You can't change what happened, but you don't have to relive it every single day. Four of Swords, Four of Coins. It's like holding on to it. Somebody's going to have to eat their words as well. There could be someone who you're not talking to because you found out they betrayed you and they were being very stingy with money, finances, resources, or they were lying on you, or they sabotaged your money, sabotaged your business. Try to throw a wrench in your plans. Try to pull the wool over your eyes. Wanted to keep you stuck by keeping your finances stuck. I feel like the more you talk about what happened to you, the more of... Okay. The more you talk about what happened to you, the more you stay in the same position. Spirit is saying that. The more you keep bringing up the shit that happened to you or what somebody did to you, the more you stay trapped within their clutches. The more control they have over you. The more power they have over your life. The more you talk about those situations, the more you stay stuck. And that's the decision that you have to make, okay? So what's hidden that Pisces doesn't see? Six of Wands. You don't see a victory. You don't see success. You don't see something working out. You don't feel like you can do it on your own. You don't feel like you can do it your own way. Or you just don't see it happening. You don't see evidence of it. Maybe you do believe in yourself, but you don't see any evidence. Some of you don't believe in yourself. But there's a victory here that you guys are meant to have. There's something that you're going to do your own way. It's going to be completely unique to who you are. No one has ever done it like this before. Everybody has already done it a certain way. But whatever that way is, it has not worked for you. So you're going to do it your own way. And you're going to figure it out your own way. And it's going to be very successful for you. But that's what's hidden. We saw the Six of Cups, Six of Swords is out here. Now we got the Six of Wands. So that is good. And because this Six of Swords fell on the floor in reverse, I feel like that energy is moving away. I feel like you also struggle sometimes with making decisions, and you may be stuck in an analysis paralysis type of situation. The fact that you're getting out of that energy is helping you to bring this victory to fruition. It's helping you to cultivate this success so you can get the win that you deserve. Seven of Wands is very much so dedication and determination to succeed. You're very motivated to succeed. And that motivation and that drive and that will and that ambition produces inhuman type strength. Superhero level strength. Amazing defying of the odds. You're being inspired by lack and your insecurities, right? So the reading we just had the other day that may have triggered some of you guys, which I didn't mean to, so, I apologize. And the reading that we had yesterday, which, was pretty wild. It's like all of the shit that pisses you off right now is what's motivating you to succeed. All of the shit that you're tired of, ritualistically repeating over and over again, that's what's inspiring you to make decisions. Good decisions, better decisions. All of a sudden I feel like you're done running away from what it is that you need to do. You're done running from whatever you're afraid of. You're looking it in the face. What's the Six of Wands for what's hidden? Five of Cups. Yeah. Something you can't get over, some type of sadness, regret, depression, something that didn't work out, something that didn't come through. You're tired of wallowing in it. You're tired of hearing those ghosts haunt you. You guys are being haunted. Y'all have been haunted by something that someone has done or something that you felt you were forced into. The more you kept, I don't know what it is. It's like, it's either you talking about it or you running from it. I don't know what it is. Or making decisions with that mentality. I don't know. But you're overcoming that shit. It's like you self-sabotaged, but it was because you were abused. But it's like it's like you were making sacrificial decisions because you were abused. And you struggle to focus on things, moving forward. But see, what's hidden is that you're overcoming that. King of Swords, Fool card. I don't know. It just feels like this King of Swords is kind of I don't know. Whatever somebody said to you, it cut very deep. I'll just say that. Whatever somebody said to you or about someone you love, it cut very deep. What's the Five of Cups? But that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Four of Wands. This could be a divorce with the Four of Wands and the Five of Cups. A lost marriage, a loss of a spouse. Your husband or wife passing away, baby mama, baby daddy passing away, a child passing away, miscarriages, a nasty divorce. Whatever this is, you're overcoming it. It's whatever made you depressed when it comes to relationships and connections in your life. Whatever made you depressed when it comes to not achieving your goals. However somebody tried to sabotage you or hold you back. However somebody tried to manipulate the situation and defame you. Or how people disowned you because you didn't want to do it their way. Or the pain that someone else took out on you for the failure that they felt in their life. Whatever this is, you're overcoming it. You're about to have a big win. You're about to be recognized with the Six of Wands. You're about to have some type of major success. But it's going to be something that doesn't make any sense to other people with the Three of Swords. It's going to be something that it's not like how your family's done it before you. It's not like how any of your ancestors did it. No one in your field or your line of business has done it this way. And nobody understands what the fuck you're doing. That's why I tell some of y'all who think you know everything in the comments to please fucking spare me. Because I know I don't know everything. But some of y'all be really, your head be so far up your ass, you about to throw up the top of your brain. And some of you guys are so lost in what people have done to you and, you know, all these things that have been going on in your life that you can't see that you're the illustrator of your own torment. And some of you guys are ready. And that's who I'm here for. And you watch the whole reading and you see it till the end and you understand the bigger picture and you've changed your life. And I think for those of you who are in that position, you may have been afraid to give. You may have been afraid to be caring, kind, compassionate. You may have been afraid to make friends or date people or work with a team. You may have been afraid to even go outside. Looking like fucking SpongeBob head ass indoors. But I feel like now something about that is changing. Okay. The burden of loss is being overcome. Okay. Could be because of a job. Ace of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. We just saw the King of Swords. Okay. What was with the King of Swords? I can't remember. Y'all like the video. Please hit the like button, guys. They take away likes and subscribers from us. Please hit the like button. If you in here watching the video and you haven't liked the video and you never liked the video, but you keep coming back watching being nosy, stop being a funky ass bitch. Hit the like button. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Was it the Five of Pentacles? No, it wasn't the Five of Pentacles. It wasn't the Five of Pentacles. That was with the Six of Wands. What was that with the King of Swords? Was it the Fool card? I think it might have been the Fool card. Yeah, I didn't like that King of Swords. It was given like controlling, like verbally abusive. You know, twisting words, twisting your mind, things like that. That's what the King of Swords was given. I think it was. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway. I feel like you guys are overcoming that. I feel like there's an opportunity that could be presenting itself here. An offer someone is making possibly to have some type of relationship or connection with you. It could be platonic. It could be professional. And I feel like you guys are having to overcome some type of fear in order to accept this for what it is. Because I feel like somebody actually does want to help you, but you... Nine of Cups reversed. Somebody is going to be very open with you emotionally. The Moon and the Eight of Swords. I feel like you're afraid, though. I feel like you guys are nervous about crossing over this threshold. Coming out of your shell. Taking off your mask. Taking off the disguise. Being who it is that you are. Or showing the world who you really are. Maybe what you really look like. Walking around with no makeup. I don't know what that is. But it's a phobia about transparency. It's a phobia of being authentic or transparent with people. It's a phobia of letting people know how you really feel. It's a phobia of people knowing where you come from. It's like when people become news anchors and they have to take all of this voice training to change their voice because they don't want people to know where they're from. That actually was a topic in Outlander as well, because Black Jack Randall was trying to figure out how Claire knew so much about him, but she couldn't say that she's from the future and she was married to his great ancestor. But that's why he thought she was a witch, because she knew so much about him. But it's like there was a scene where she was talking to Black Jack Randall about something, and she knew where he was from, and he was like, how did you know that? She said, from your accent. And he was like, well, my parents paid a lot of money for that not to be the case. So he had to take voice training and speech training so that it would hide his possible, accent that may have come from where he came from, and identified him to other people about who he really was or where he really came from. And that's true. You may be nervous about that. A lot of people have prejudice for people because they know where they came from. People who have a certain accent get treated a certain way. If you're not, if you don't assimilate into whatever community that you're in or that you live in, you know, you're going to stand out. You're going to be, you're going to be an oddball out. You may be ostracized. And I think a lot of you guys are afraid of that. Or that was something that really was concerning to you. Page of Cups. Yeah, because you felt like as a child, a lot of y'all felt like you wanted to be someone different. You wish you could change your life or be somebody different because you didn't really like who you were. You didn't fit in with your family. You didn't really like who you were. Like, not because... And it's not because you were born that way. You weren't born that way, like feeling like the black sheep. You weren't born that way feeling like you didn't belong. You weren't born that way feeling as if something was wrong with you. That's what you were made to believe by your family and by people around you who tried to make you feel like the way you thought was weird, or you know the things about you were different and there was something wrong with that. But that's not really true. And I think that's now what makes you afraid to be in communities. Some of you could be walking away from someone who you've been friends with for a long time because you've been there, done that. It's like they're still stuck in a particular, mentality that you've outgrown. I was trying to clarify the Three of Swords, but I feel like that's what it is. You may be meeting someone who's overcome this fear and they've detached from this fear and anxiety of like pleasing people. And they know how to really be themselves. It's like something I don't know. It's like for a long time, somebody didn't want their life. Like they didn't like their life, or they didn't like their skin, or they didn't like where they came from or their family or whatever. Sometimes people are embarrassed by their family. Sometimes people's family tries to embarrass them. What I feel like this message is like Spirit just trying to tell you like, hey, the more you give into some type of fear or anxiety that someone is telling you that you're going to have in a situation, the more it's going to be true. And I don't know what this is about, but I think that some of you guys are going to be coming in contact with people in the near future, meeting people in the near future that are going to be less mature than you, but it's not for you to judge them. It's not for you to, judge a book by its cover. It's actually, they're coming into your life so that you can give them philosophy and wisdom and mentorship and education, because they're supposed to be, kind of like taking the torch from you. What's the advice? This long ass fucking reading. Thank you for Pisces. Yeah, just enjoy it. Be excited about it. Make everything positive, even if it's hard. Like, child, sometimes y'all be so depressing over here. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't look at me. I be reading the cards and telling y'all about what you thinking in your subconscious. So don't flip it on me, bitch. If you feeling salty about it. A lot of y'all ain't sensitive like that, because y'all, we here. Because I'm not sensitive about shit. You could tell. And you, oh yeah, okay, yeah, you ain't sensitive. We seen you be sensitive. Fine. I don't care. Because we going to have a debate. We going to have a conversation. Okay? Some of y'all be so depressed about shit. And I mean, you have the right to, but it's like, is that really how you want to live your life? Question. Page of Wands? That's the question. Spirit wants you to be more excited about stuff. Yeah, Four of Cups. What's real and what's fake? And the devil. Distractions, illusions. That's the devil. Wishing you had a different life when you got an actual life right in front of you. That's the devil. I still don't see a lot of y'all's energy in this reading, but you do have the Five of Cups, the Nine of Cups reversed, depression, sadness, unhappiness for a long time. Some of y'all are going to have to break out of this, or you're just going to go down with the ship and sink. And you're going to end up being a bitter old bitch for the rest of your life. And you like, oh, I ain't finna be bitter, but you always chewing people out. Maybe I need to go look in the mirror. It's a joke, Pisces. God. Yeah, something looks pretty because it's fake. Just like these bitches out here who be like, I'm sexy, I'm fine, my ass is fat, and da 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 da. Well, if you were on the same wavelength or the same tax bracket as all of us, we might be having a different conversation, bitch. Talking about all this stuff. Get the fuck out of here. Natural is better. Authentic is better. Real is better than fake. So be happy that your let me stop, because I was about to be bitch, I was about to be petty. But y'all told me when I say let me stop, y'all was like, no, don't stop, because y'all are enablers, you fuckers. You want me to make a fool out myself. But no, for real, I was gonna say, at least you don't look like Barney out here. Let me stop. Listen, I think Nicki Minaj and Cardi B are very talented. But sometimes I do be looking at Cardi's hips like, what the fuck is going on? I don't be trying to talk about people, but we gotta be real. Both of them bitches is too old to be arguing and fighting like that. They both looking stupid. Okay? All y'all hoes looking stupid. JT and everybody. I mean, people say that Lotto is sweet. She ain't really got nothing to do with it. But sometimes Ice Spice be looking stupid too. That little girl, she be looking stupid. When she lost all that weight, and you know, I don't be wanting to body shame. I'm not trying to body shame her. But my thing is, it didn't look natural. It looked like she did that on purpose. Or somebody told her to do it and she had to do it for the label or something. Or it was a humiliation ritual. Anyway. You bored or something. You're not excited about something because it's not authentic. It's not real. It's fake. It don't feed you. You know? You get what I'm saying? Anybody who goes to these AI psychics that they got around now, or these fake pages of content creation on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and everything, of course you feel bored and detached and lethargic and lazy and drained and sleepy and tired because your energy is getting sucked out by a jinn. You come over here and you watch this reading. It might be an hour, 15 minutes long, whatever. You could put it on 3 times speed or 2 times speed and be done in 30, 45 minutes. But you're going to be feeling uplifted, bitch, because I'm a real bitch. I'm a real human. I'm a real girl. Ooh. I'm not talking about transgender people, though. But anyway, maybe I am. But that's what it is. You don't feel enthused because some shit is fake. Some of this is about people who are actually false mentors. They impulsively decided to be an influencer or a teacher. Some of this is about the teachers in y'all kids' school. I want to be a teacher off a whim, off of impulse, because I just all of a sudden wanted to be a teacher. But they're not built to be a mentor, because Bitch, they're not built to be a mentor. Boop, boop, boop. Because they make piss poor decisions. I don't always make the right decisions. In my life, I have made mistakes. I've had to learn lessons. But I have attempted at my best to learn from those lessons and not make the same mistake again. I might have got fooled a couple times. But eventually, even if I'm hard-headed, I'm going to be like, listen, we're not doing that again. But it's a lot of people out here who are impulsively wanting to read cards, do astrology, be politicians, become teachers, be in early education. They want to have all these prestigious jobs and they don't have the experience or the wisdom to do that. They're faking wisdom. They're manipulating people into thinking that they're wise. And then they're talking about all the real, I don't know. What's the Page of Wands? The World and the Three of Pentacles. See, somebody has, this is a situation. I feel like what the advice is from Spirit is like, you're making progress and it may be slow and it may be very methodical and it may be very tedious, but this is world progress. This is progress that you need to keep making, keep climbing, keep hustling, keep flowing. Three of Wands, Three of Pentacles, Three of Swords, and we saw the Three of Cups. I feel like the progress that you're making and the blood, sweat, and tears, the painstaking research and education that you're putting yourself in, whether it's through the school of life or it's through some type of administration where you've gone to school, or it's through some type of knowledge that you gained over time and years. This is paying off because you're making progress slowly, but you have a better understanding of the subject matter and the topics in which you are learning. You are becoming proficient. You are not some fly-by-night teacher who got a certification off of a 30-minute class online, and now you think you a psychic. Fuck all y'all bitches. I can't stand these hoes. I'm the best of them. I am one of the best because I'm not the only one. I am one of the best readers out here. And I don't give a fuck if y'all think I'm arrogant. I don't care. I am one of the best readers out here. And I don't care if it's because I'm young. I don't want to compete with nobody. I don't care. Everybody can get a piece of the pie. But what I don't like is when bitches be out here just saying whatever they want to be saying because one day they saw a tarot reader getting thousands of views online and thought that it was something that they should do because it could make them money. And then they be out here holding grudges and attacking the bitches who actually do this shit because they felt like God called them to do it. And motherfuckers be lying. They know that God ain't called them to do this shit. And it's the same with teachers. Some of these teachers out here talking about what's her name? That stupid bitch, Teacher Bay. Yes, I called her a stupid bitch. Because why the fuck are you in school with tight fit clothes on around preteens? You pedophile hoe. Listen, okay. Because I got boys. You get what I'm saying? And I'll be good and goddamn if my sons ever come home talking about they done got a 30-something-year-old bitch pregnant because she walking around with her ass cheek print in the pencil skirt. Bitch, go get on the pole if you want to see, if you want people to see your ass jiggling. I can't stand that shit. Bring back the old lady teachers. Bring back the old lady teachers who was missing teeth and was ugly. And who will pop the kids with a ruler on their hand. Because some of y'all young hoes need to go sit down. And my thing is, listen, some of y'all might get offended by the shit I say. But at the end of the day, it's some real ass shit. Should nobody be. And it's young girls who came out and was really speaking some facts. Because they was teachers too. But they wasn't walking around with their titties out and with their strappy heels on. Get the fuck out of here. It's so many people who have lost the plot, Pisces. Maybe I lost the plot in this reading. But I think that I'm on point. And that's all that matters. And if you don't think I am, or if you don't resonate with this reading, that's fine too. I ain't gonna hold you to nothing. But at the end of the day, you guys are making progress. That's hard. and you are perfecting a craft that's hard, but it's creating a secure and stable foundation that's real, that you can get excited about because it's actually steeped in some type of mystery and magic. It's not steeped in a bunch of slop. That shit is real. Okay? Anyway. Some people just want to have control over other people. Some people say, "Oh, I read cards. I'm psychic. I could tell you what's going on." But what about that girl who was on Facebook with that raggedy man, and she was just raggedy because she was with him, hell. And they was on Facebook Live, and the man done what he stabbed her on Facebook Live because she was talking about somebody. He done got a tarot reading from somebody who told him that it was people putting spells on him and all that type of shit. Get the fuck out of here. Then you want to talk about God called you to do this. No, they, them did not. You a raggedy posing ass bitch. I'm telling you, y'all. The energy is very potent. The energy is extremely potent. And some of you have someone who is watching you, or who is about to, your paths are about to cross. See, and that's why sometimes I put the title of the reading as whatever I say at the end, because motherfuckers don't watch all the way through. They be like, "Oh, you be rage baiting. The title ain't got nothing to do with the reading." Yes, it does, bitch. You just don't watch the whole thing, stupid hoe. You's a stupid hoe. Stupid hoe. Y'all should have seen my head. I was just doing a bobblehead like this. Anyway, you and someone else's paths are about to cross. Okay? And whoever this person is of the same mind as you. And that's what they've been thinking about. They've been thinking about, even if this is platonic, even if this is professional, some of you guys are going to partner up with someone and you're going to do things together to help the community. Some of you guys are going to partner up with this person and you're going to make a decision to basically make progress or move forward to try to combat that false fake energy, that BBL butt energy. You're going to try to combat that together, or the paths that you have walked culminate together once you intertwine as being able to combat that inauthentic, fake, false energy. I feel like you guys are going to be having seminars. You're going to be having like networking events. You're going to be speaking to people. You're going to be hiring people. You're going to do things that help uplift the community. And this masculine right now is like, if you're the masculine energy, you're thinking about the other half that you need in order to do this. And you may feel like this person doesn't exist, but they do. And you guys may be about to cross paths. Some of you who are in the feminine energy have been feeling a little down on yourself because you are this privileged lady who is, connected to or in alignment with this wealthy man. And the privileged lady is not necessarily wealthy by her own merit. She's kind of wealthy because other people around her are wealthy. Like, she comes from a very affluent family. She marries a very affluent partner. She's in a particular echelon that she's always going to be taken care of no matter what. She has inheritance. She has, a savings fund or something like that somebody opens for her. Right? And it doesn't mean that she can't be wealthy on her own or privileged on her own, but there is a certain aspect of reliance that privileged lady has to have in order for her destiny to kind of unfold. And some of you guys may have a problem with that. Fine. You're an independent woman. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. I don't care, bitch. Okay? What I'm saying is, there's a part of your journey that has to cross paths with this person, and their journey, there's a part of it that has to cross paths with you. whichever side of the coin that you're on. And once y'all come together, you're going to be making certain decisions to reach this person. They're going to be making certain decisions to reach you. And once y'all come together, that is what's going to help kind of purify this inauthentic energy from our collective space. Look at the World card. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you're going around spreading that message. But I feel like it's important for some of you to decompress and relieve some type of pressure. This could be somebody coming in to relieve pressure off of you, whichever side you're on. But I feel like some of you have to decompress and expand the experiences that you've had out so that you can see what it all kind of means and how it intertwines together. What is the advice for Pisces? Garnet. Justice. Mercy bears richer fruits than strict justice. Mercy. Be merciful. Tiger's eye. Courage. Being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. Yeah. Listen, I appreciate y'all. I really do. But when I say y'all, I am definitely only talking to a specific group. You know? And I don't decide what you do in your life. You decide what you do in your life. But I do feel like there could be someone here who is definitely very stable when it comes to their finances, but you may have more wisdom. They may be wild when it comes to their level of experience or wisdom, but you can help them harness that and kind of like mold it. And they may help you to, I don't know, have more stability financially. I don't know. One of y'all is wild, the other one is tamed, and you're both going to teach each other lessons about that. Now, the Mortarite says wisdom. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. And I said that too. Listen, it sounds like I think I know everything, but I know I don't know everything. Sometimes I just be wanting y'all to laugh. And if you don't think it's funny, then we have two different ideas of comedy, because I like Richard Pryor. Okay, I like fucking Cat Williams. I was watching Cat Williams as a teenager, a preteen, whenever he came out. That shit is funny to me. Big back, BBL butt bitch. That shit is funny to me. Okay. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of you guys do like, it's like you have this, I feel like you have this choice to make, because when this person approaches you or when you guys cross paths, if you are too aggressive or if you are too abrasive or if you are too critical and judgmental of this person, or if you hold them to too high of like, not a standard, but you know, if you're too rigid, if you can't have fun, if you're very serious and I'm looking for my soulmate and twin flame, and this spiritual thing is real. Do you believe in spirituality? Like, do you believe in spiritual? Like, I'm telling you, some of y'all need to fucking relax, okay? What's your birthday? What's your sun, moon, and rising, bitch, right now? Boom. Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh, man. I want to know your mama's name, your grandmama's name, your granddaddy's name, and everybody. I can't even do it, bitch. I can't even focus. Oh, God. I can't even stay in character. See, they couldn't cast me for no movie. They could, well, let me stop. I feel like I would be a great actress, but they couldn't cast me for no funny movie. Don't put me in no funny movie with nobody funny, because I'm going to be cracking up. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I need your birth certificate, social security number, and everything else. Medical records, bitch, now. Some of y'all be so serious. Spiritual people be so serious sometimes. It gets so irritating. Everybody you meet, you got to know what all their information. You got to go watch 10,000 readings on them before you even get to know them. Stop with that bullshit. Don't be so serious. God damn. Okay. But anyway, like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. Donate if you can. PayPal, Venmo, Zelle. Book your readings. Get in the comments. And remember, Pisces, this is our circle, booze. Bye.